Alrighty, everybody, we have returned.
Yeah, this is the second episode of the now named ExplodeyBarrels podcast.
Yes, ExplodeyBarrels is a thing that we initially had a website that we were doing reviews on, and it kind of went nowhere. But we still had the YouTube channel, and I don't know if we still have the domain name or not. We should probably go get that.
Yeah, maybe. Seems like work.
Right, yeah, that sounds like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So we might not do that, but yes, so now we've named it. This is our second one. Our first one was an unparalleled success, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, if you've done anything in your life worth doing, it wasn't as good as what we did.
No. I mean, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Somebody discovered penicillin. I don't know who that was.
Right.
That's about the only two things of note I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And our podcast.
Right.
Number 3 right
Yeah.
there. Top 3 humanity.
Yeah, so you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
God, it took so much effort as well. Just sitting there, nerding out about video games and TV shows.
Drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, the effort that we put into it, it's
It's basically what we do for real. I mean, in our normal lives, just with a microphone in the room.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we talk in slightly more complete sentences.
Yeah. Less grunts.
You know, it's funny. For work, I had this project where I had to wear a GoPro around the house. And man, if you want to analyze your life like you've never analyzed it before, wear a GoPro with the knowledge that you're going to show it to a bunch of other people. Because all of a sudden, things in my house that I thought were acceptable, I realized they were not very quickly. Because I'm wearing a GoPro. People are going to see it like, hey, there's dirty socks on the dining room table. Do you think that's acceptable, Mike? Everyone's going to see that now. Hey, why are there candy wrappers in your medicine cabinet? Is this how adults live, Mike? Everyone's going to see this now. And I was just like walking around the house like, oh shit, I'm a child.
Oh man. I think our house is relatively clean. But I can just the sheer level of like boredom in my life. I think rewatching it would depress me. It'd just be a cycle of depression, and I'd probably have the GoPro on while I'm watching that, so that would get filmed. And I'd upload that. It'd be like one of those mirrors in the dressing room.
You could just watch your own reaction as you're disappointed in yourself.
Just keep doing that until it ends with me blowing my brains out.
Yeah,
it's like it's an art film.
Yeah, and then black and white just says fiend.
Yeah, fiend.
And there's one sad clown clapping.
See, that's a good thing about my house, though. Is like I've got OCD, which actual OCD, diagnosed OCD. I take meds for. Everyone always says, "Oh, I got OCD." Right, and it's on a spectrum. Like, imagine like an RPG where you level up, but it's like shitty. So the low level where you're like, hey, you unlocked this new skill. And the low level of OCDs where you like gotta wash your hands and like flip the lights 3 times and make sure your door's locked. That's low. That's like level 1. And then you go through and you get like more skill points than unlocked. So I got level 1. I'm a master level OCD. So I've got the one if I don't take my meds and you sit me in a room by myself and there's sharp objects, I have uncontrollable urges to start peeling my skin off. It's that kind of OCD.
Huh, all right.
So, yeah, it's not fun. Hey, but at least my house is clean.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Not a lot of sharp objects lying around.
Oh, no, they're there.
They're there. They're just not in you.
Yeah. Oh, I am out of meds. That's a real thing. I forgot to reorder them.
Uh-oh.
Next time you see me, I bite me missing my skin.
Right. That'll be the next podcast, versus Jake Lincoln screaming.
Yeah. I just look like Arnold off T2.
Right.
Listen to me very closely.
It's hopefully without the metal arm. Or with the metal arm. You know what? That'd be something cool to discover.
Yeah.
I'm a robot.
When that happened.
Cool. I won't get robot cancer. At least I don't think.
Is that a thing?
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that was stuck for the robots.
I'm not a doctor.
We made a list this time to talk about things because, oh man, we rambled last time.
Yeah, we did. We're trying to be responsible.
Might not happen. I mean, we're going to try to follow it.
Yeah.
At least attempt.
But just things we're gonna talk about, and hopefully we'll finish talking about them before we move on to something else.
Yeah.
God, listening to our stream of consciousness where we started, like, hey, you're watching The Walking Dead? Oh, that's cool. And then we talked about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and then we went into like Batman vs Superman, and then like Nolan North, and then we went like from Walking Dead into video games, and we finished none of our conversation.
It was like listening to a couple preschoolers talk.
Right.
Like, hey, I like red. Do you want to eat marshmallows?
Like, there was a ball. He didn't have the ball anymore. I like dragons. Dragons are green. The grass is green. Let's play in the grass. Like that. It was just insanity. So, oh my god. Well, before we get started on this list, though, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we talked about last week that we got updates on this week.
I can tell you right now, there's a new episode of The Expanse.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no spoilers, but it's sticking really close to the books.
Right.
Moving along at a pretty good clip.
Okay.
I'm pretty excited about the rest of the season. People that just are watching the show probably got a pretty big shock last episode. People that read the books know what's coming up, so it's going to be great. I'm telling you that this is just the start of something real big.
Nice. I watched Walking Dead. No huge things that happened. Plus, I don't want to get into like spoiler territory if the people are a few episodes behind, like you yourself.
Yeah.
However, during watching The Walking Dead, there was a preview for Better Call Saul season 3. I don't know if you saw that. It was they did a commercial for Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah.
And Gus steps in screen and goes, "Hi, welcome to Los Pollos."
I actually did see that.
And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Like, so it seems like Gus is going to be in next season.
You know, I never thought about that, but Los Pollos Hermanos, isn't that Spanish for the
Chicken Brothers? Yeah.
Is that any deep meaning for Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I think it's just a fake chicken place.
Okay.
But you know, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments.
Reminds me of my favorite fictional wrestler, El Polo Loco.
El Pollo Loco. The crazy chicken. Oh. I don't know why he's French in my impression, but everyone shut up.
He is.
But yes.
Shit. Yeah, damn it. Fuck.
Yeah, that's another thing. For apologies for last week for banging on the microphone so many times.
That was me sitting my beer down. I'm an idiot.
Yep.
And I just kicked the table with the microphone.
Right.
So, once again, I'm an idiot.
Yep.
So.
We didn't know.
No, we knew.
I mean, we know now, but we didn't then.
Well, I knew.
You're just doing it on purpose?
Yeah. No, I knew I was an idiot.
Oh,
I was I guess I was hiding it well for however long we've known each other.
30 years.
Yeah.
So now we got a different setup. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better. I'm trying to think of anything else from last week. No, I think that's about it. So, all right, we'll move on to our actual list now. During the week, we were talking about things we could talk about, and one of them came up was, this isn't quite the right way to phrase it, but like our favorite canceled game. Like a game that we were all really looking forward to, and then it ended up being canceled. And we still kind of have fond memories about, like, I bet that would have been awesome. But it is no more. It has ceased to be.
Yeah.
So there's a couple good ones here, I think. Even going back, like, before I was even, like, super nerd, like, I played video games all the time, but I never really read articles on them or did any research into, like, how it was made, and, like, that stuff kind of intrigues me now. And one of them that I remember was, and maybe, I don't know if you'll remember or not, was, it was called Amen, I think, and it was supposed to be done by the same people that did, I want to say The Descent, but I don't know if that's the right name for the game that I'm thinking of. But this was back in, like, around Half-Life 2 days, or actually about Half-Life 1 days, and they were touting this first-person shooter where you're fighting against this cult. And some of the stuff that they touted was awesome. Like, you'd be able to break windows and use shards of glass to stab people. So there was, like, on-the-fly weapons. The AI looked fantastic. And they just decided to cancel it and go back to what they were already doing, which was, like, this space racing sort of thing. And everyone was like, are you fucking serious? Like,
they canceled it just in spite of Mike.
Mm-hmm.
This guy seems like he's really into this.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go ahead and cancel it, because fuck that guy.
I'm going to actually look that up, just because I'm kind of trying to remember what the studio was. Do you have any ones?
I have a few I can think of, but the one that I always come back to, and I'm sure this is a big one for a lot of people, is StarCraft Ghost. I think it was a shooter based on the StarCraft universe.
Oh my god, I would have totally played that.
Oh yeah, it was third person.
I'm not a big StarCraft fan, or a big whatever that's called. Is that RTS? Is that what you would call those?
Yeah.
StarCraft? But like, I love when things go from another genre that I'm kind of interested in to first person shooter, because I love first person shooters.
It's not. It was third person.
Oh, it's third person?
Yeah, it was like a third person stealth shooter.
Stealth.
I'm trying to think of like a comparison. Basically,
Would it be
I'd
like
say stealth shooter, but it was like a skill-based shooter.
like would it be like Gears of War, or that's cover-based shooter?
Cover-based. Yeah, I'd say more like remember Siphon Filter on the PS1?
Siphon Filter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
something like that. It looked real good. I mean, at the time, the graphics looked great, and I was real excited about it. And I mean, I know there was a lot of hype for it. I remember being on the cover of a lot of game magazines back in the day, and it got canceled, and I don't know why.
No? Does anyone know? I mean, was there...
I'm sure there's a reason. I think it was delayed a few times. Maybe it just ran over budget.
Oh.
But I mean, it looked real good, and it crushed me. It crushed little Lincoln's dreams.
Another one is, of course, Silent Hills.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a recent one.
It is a recent one, yeah. But, God, I mean, that hyped everyone up so much. And they're like, never mind.
I honestly, the only reason I could think they canceled that is out of spite. Like, fuck everybody. Like, oh shit, I still have beer and I opened a new one.
It's alright. Double fisted.
Yeah. Taping my hands, Mike.
It's time to play Edward Grape Hands.
Yeah.
We are drinking Henry's Hard Grape Soda, by the way. It's great if you don't have diabetes.
If you do it anyways.
Right.
And they're not paying us to say this. It is legitimately good.
Yes.
No one's paying us to say anything.
Yeah. Nope, not yet, anyway.
We had like 2 listeners.
Right. Yeah.
Me and Mike.
But if anyone out there works for Henry's Hard Soda Company, please let them know. We will gladly endorse your product because it is delicious.
It is.
And it makes me feel... I get to be drunk and feel like I'm 5 years old.
So, like you felt at 5 years old.
Yeah. No, I actually, despite all my, how much I love the booze now, I actually didn't drink until I was 18. I know a lot of people start in high school, but...
Yeah, I didn't drink till college.
Yeah. All right, well, staying on track. So, canceled games.
When's the first time you did heroin, Mike?
You know what? Never stopped.
Okay.
Still actively on my first... No.
Okay. Mainlining right now.
Yep. Since birth, womb to the tomb.
Yeah. I'm suppositorying it. I heard that's good, so...
Yeah. If it's good enough for Obi-Wan Kenobi,
yeah.
It's good. References. All right, I'm trying to think of other games. Like,
the one... This is kind of a... The only way people are going to remember this is... you remember the movie Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
And he was making that game called Demonic?
Yes.
That was an actual game that was supposed to come out.
Really?
Yeah, for the 360. It was like a 360 launch title. And it looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They canceled it.
Man, Xbox canceled the game? That seems unlikely.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
throwing shade.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Come at me, Internet.
Yeah. Back in the day, though, I mean, they were releasing lots of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the time when they're at their peak. I mean, when you think about it, 360, they did all the indie titles back then. Well, this was before the Microsoft Store and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Demonic looked good, and they had a movie tie-in in a way, and I'm not sure where that one got canceled, but yeah, that one looked interesting. I was excited about that. I like Grandma's Boy as a movie.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
So, yeah. And people that don't like it,
yeah,
suck it. It was a fun, dumb movie.
But speaking of Microsoft and canceled games, Scalebound was the most recent one that kind of threw a lot of people, I think, just because that was one of their big, like, hey, we've got these new IPs coming out.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just strange. Like, I know a lot of people said, well, if you looked at the trailers, it didn't look that good anyway, but it's still odd. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just very, very weird to...
Well, it's weird to me because we were talking about this. There was an article this week that really put it in stark relief in Forbes, but Sony has just shit rolling out the gate.
Yeah.
They got Horizon. I mean, they had Bloodborne. They've got Uncharted, Last of Us, Neo, God of War. They've got all of these exclusives.
Last Guardian.
And Microsoft has like 3. They have Halo, Forza, and Gears of War.
Yeah.
And technically, you don't need an Xbox to play any of those.
Right.
Do you play
those?
And
what's the time-bending one?
That one that no one played?
Yeah. Quantum Break.
Yeah.
Which looked interesting, but even then, like, I thought that might be... I like Halo so much that I had been looking
You want to take it out behind the middle school and get it pregnant?
I'd kind of been looking, especially once the Master Chief Collection came out, I'd been looking for, like, an excuse to get an Xbox One. I wanted to get it. I was like, come on, give me a reason, Xbox One. And, like, everything they kept releasing critics would either they would cancel it or it would be released, and critics would be like, yeah. Like I was waiting for that system seller, like that game where I would see it being played, and I'm like, holy shit, I have to play that, and it never came. I thought Quantum Break might be that, and then like its reviews were around like 7s and stuff, and they were kind of like, like it's kind of neat sometimes.
Basically, what I heard about it, I never played it, but I heard it was like a middling video game wrapped in a bad TV show.
Yes.
Yeah. And Microsoft just had that one Recore.
Yes.
And I heard it was like the first like third of the game's real good.
Yeah.
And then the last like 2/3 is shit. Like they forgot to finish the game. Like they blew their wad in the first third of the game. Like, oh guys, we ran out of money. Oh well.
All right. So going back just a little bit, that game I was talking about, it was called Amen: The Awakening, and it was being developed by Cave Dog, and it was canceled in 2000. And they're the ones that make Total Annihilation. So, basically, that's what they canceled The Awakening. Apparently the scope was too big. And then they just went back to doing Total Annihilation games.
The scope was too big.
Yeah, like, because remember I was telling you, like, if you think of in 2000, a game where you can break things in real time and use them as weapons, I could see that. But still, that kind of sucks. Like, we planned it to be too awesome.
Yeah, it was gonna be too. Yeah, it was gonna be too good.
Yeah,
like your tiny minds couldn't handle it.
What was that Star Wars game that got canceled too?
The Bounty Hunter one. I don't think it had a title.
Wasn't it like Star Wars 1138 or something like that?
131 or
yeah. But just even the little gameplay trailer they showed looked awesome. Yeah. With the shooting out the window and everyone getting sucked into space.
LucasArts canceled a few awesome sounding games. They canceled that one. They had they were going to do like a Darth Maul.
Oh my god!
Game. Yeah. And that was canceled pretty early in development. I don't think they really made it that far. And then I don't. And then they made Battlefront recently. And Battlefront sucked.
Did it? I don't.
I mean, it was beautiful, but it was so. I mean, it's just like, oh, it's so. They should. Honestly, like everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be Battlefield with with Star Wars slapped on it. That would have been great if they would have did that. That would have been a good game.
Yeah.
This was like Battlefield with everything good about Battlefield stripped out of it. Had power ups, like. The vehicles didn't spawn. I mean, you picked up tokens that spawned vehicles. You didn't earn to be the heroes.
A lot of vehicles were on rails as well, weren't they?
Yeah, like the walkers you didn't control. Do you remember like the original Battlefronts? Like you could drive the walkers and shit.
Yeah, I think so.
And I get like they said, oh, it could have ruined the balance. People could fuck around and like walk off the turn around and not contribute. That's good
hilarious.
Part. That's the good part about it.
There's deserters in real in real wars in real Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, you think, yeah, exactly.
That'd actually be hilarious. Like that, I'd like to see that in a Star Wars movie, kind of like at the beginning of Force Awakens, like John Boyega.
Yeah.
Like imagine if he was driving an AT-AT and he like takes off his helmet and he's sweating. He's like, "No, I can't do it." And the thing, it takes like 20 minutes to like turn the thing around. He does like an 8-point turn.
Just fucking stepping on his own guys while he's doing it.
And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I forgot my chapstick. I gotta go back.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, that would be great. Oh, man.
Because now you can just flee, he's just like, we can still see you in the distance, like an hour and a half
And they're not
later.
that fast.
No.
Like, where you going?
No, they really only, they're like,
where you going, guy?
There's just, a group of storm like following behind him.
What's your plan?
Like, throwing rocks at him. Hey! When you run out of gas, we're going to kill you.
I don't think they run on gas, but they got to run on something.
Right, yeah.
They do run on gas.
I like my assumption that future Star Wars technology runs on fossil fuels.
Roll coal. There's run on diesel. Got to fucking...
Right, clean coal.
Yeah.
Oops. See, I'm doing it too. I'm putting things on the table and ruining it.
But I did hear Battlefront 2 is going to have a single player campaign.
I'm stoked because I got stoked for the Star Wars this Battlefront, and then they were like multiplayer only, and I'm like, boo.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people took notice of what happened with Titanfall, and and hopefully we'll see some more of that.
Yeah, they said single player.
God, Titanfall single player was so good.
Oh yeah, it was. But the rumor for Battlefront 2 is single player campaign across multiple Star Wars eras.
That's awesome.
And more in depth systems. So and I heard there's like a trailer dropping soon. So
sweet.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that.
Yeah,
because I really wanted to play the last one, but I'm not. This is a second podcast. People don't know that much about us yet, but I'm not a big multiplayer game guy. I like single player campaigns.
Mike sucks at games.
Yeah, that's a problem too. No, I'm just like I can only be accurate if I stand still.
We told you last time he's a pirate. He's only got one eye.
Right.
He's also an 86-year-old man.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't be accurate with my guns unless I stand completely still. Yeah. Remember we were playing Halo together, and I was like. I kept getting killed, and they're like, "You're just standing there, like with your rifle, just." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the only way I can shoot."
In real life, you don't run around shooting,
right? Yeah. At the end, I had like 2 kills and like 98 deaths.
Some games online, I'm the man, but others, I'm awful. Like Battlefield, I'm always competitive.
Yeah,
I've like ended games with like top of the charts, like 40 kills, 2 deaths. Then I play, like, I jump online and play, like, Call of Duty, and I hang my head in shame. It's just awful.
The only one I've ever been any good at, which oddly enough is a very difficult one, it was Counter-Strike, which even, veteran first-person shooter online multiplayer people say is one of the hardest ones to do, and oddly enough, I got the hang of that one. But I think it was more, I've just never been that accurate of a shooter. It's more just tactics. I tend to be a rhino a lot of the time. Like I'm the one that like I will charge forward and kill 3 guys and get myself.
I thought
killed.
That was some like technical Counter-Strike term I didn't know.
No, like when you
or like a political term, rhino.
Right? Yeah. when you rush, a lot of people will rush to the 2 like let's say bomb sites if you're doing a bomb site map, and I will rush there, but then I will also rush down the hallway that I know that they're going to come out of. And a lot of times I get killed, but a lot of times they're just not expecting a fucking kamikaze with the P90 because that thing has such a high rate of fire and it has a 50 round clip. So I would they're used to going in, picking people off, planting the bomb, and they come around the corner and there's me charging forward, just 90 miles an hour, just spraying everybody. It catches a lot of people off guard. So I would do that, and I would also do a lot of sneaking. Like I would wait for them to go where I knew they were going to go, and then I would circle around back and shoot a lot of people from behind. I did that once with the what's the big machine gun? It's like the saw, basically. It's not a saw, but it might be the FN Para or whatever.
M249 Bravo.
I think so. But I got that, and I got like in Italy. I rushed one way, and no one was there. Like they almost went the other way, and so I rushed over there, and all 9 of them were there. And I just opened fired, and I killed the whole team. It was like the best round of Counter-Strike I've ever had. And then everyone got really, really mad.
Oh, really? In Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
Okay, that never happens.
No.
I'd say I prefer more slow-paced tactical games. Mm-hmm. So Counter-Strike never appealed to me. But I love, like, Battlefield. I love Ghost Recon.
That's who you're excited about, right? Upcoming...
I was. I played the beta this week. I told you earlier
right.
Before we filmed... recorded, whatever the hell this is called. The beta came out, the open beta.
Yeah.
And I played some of that. And single player, if you're listening to this, you're planning on buying it, and you're going to play it single player, don't buy it. Because your AI teammates are worthless. Playing it by yourself is not... Wait for it to go on sale. But if you have a group of people you know you're going to be able to play the whole game with, go for it. Because I can tell you right now, it'll be a blast playing with other people. Because it does have the ability to, like... you can just see the map was built for that, for playing with other people. Like, they have different points of infill and exfil at these maps. Or the map, I should say, is huge, and these different areas you can hit, and the vehicles control like shit right now. Hopefully they fix that, but seriously, the worst controlling vehicles in any game I've ever played. But beyond that, the shooting's good, the graphics are beautiful, the AI is bad, but... if you have friends to play with, it seems like it'd be a really fun game to play to get. So it did take my hype down a little bit though playing the beta, but I have no one to play with.
Right? Yeah.
So I imagine if I had a group of people to play it with, it'd be a different story. Because the Division was kind of the same way. When I started, I was by myself, and it was kind of like, oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
Then I met some people online, and we formed like a good group I played with through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Andy was one of them, your roommate.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, that became one of my favorite games of last year. So, could be the same thing.
Until it got completely fucked.
At the end game. They fixed it.
Okay.
It's a lot better now. But
that's cool. All right, so that was our. We still ended up like going way off course.
Yeah. God damn.
But we at least finished talking about canceled games that we wish. I hold out hope. I just hope we get to see another Silent Hill game someday. It's gonna bump. I mean, that's such a good franchise.
It is.
And for it to just complete like that to be relegated to pachinko machines or pachinko or however you pronounce it.
I did want to ask about. Did you see the Horizon Zero Dawn reviews rolling in?
Yeah, right now they're awesome.
Yeah,
they're coming in.
It's like the highest rated game of the year so far.
Yeah, they're coming in. I mean, we're February, but still.
Yeah.
They're
game of the year.
Yep,
calling it.
Yeah, like release on
Yeah.
January 1st. Like, game of the year! But the reviews are coming in at like high 80s and mid 90s for the most part. A couple hundred, 100 out of hundreds in there as well. Which, it's like I liked how the game looked, but I was also concerned, as were a lot of people, that it would fall into just kind of being like it's an open world, but it's people are saying no, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So good for them. I will definitely be picking it up. Probably not immediately. I've got a few things to play through first, but I'll probably get it before summer.
Well, I did purchase a PS4 Pro. It's shipping. It'll be here Monday.
Nice. Then you can actually do a
Saturday.
review.
Yeah,
we can start
next week.
We can start doing Explodey Barrel reviews.
Yeah. So that'll be the first game I play on my PS4 Pro.
Nice.
So yeah,
I'm assuming the second one will be Resident Evil 7.
No, I'm holding out to do that.
Oh, you're gonna do your VR PC?
Yeah.
Or if you end up getting,
if I end up getting a PSVR, who knows?
Yeah. After your wife is done murdering you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much VR.
Yeah. Jeez. But beyond Horizon, I'm gonna have to get a Switch because I've been reading and watching Zelda impressions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be good, but then the people that are reviewing it, and I've heard this from multiple people, it's like, this is Ocarina of Time, the first time. Remember the first time you played Ocarina of Time as a kid? It's that all over again.
Nice.
I'm like, ugh. And there was one. I've watched a bunch of gameplay videos of people, the press playing their sessions, and they weren't allowed to show much beyond the starting area. But there's one video in particular where he's fighting like a larger enemy.
Yep.
And that larger enemy picks up one of the smaller enemies and just hooks it at Link. And it's just, I know that's not a new thing. You mentioned it to piss off Kyle.
Yeah, I've been doing my best to piss off Kyle, but from what I can tell, it sounds like one of those games, one of those rare games that's going to live up to every ounce of hype that everyone did.
Even one of the reviewers that reviewed Horizon and gave it like a 90 and then went and played Zelda, said Zelda is a much more complex game than Horizon. The combat.
Interesting.
Said there's so, the example he gave is like the range combat. Like there's a boomerang in Zelda.
Yeah.
And you throw it, you actually have to manually catch it. It'll come back to you, but you have to actually manually grab it out of the air.
Nice.
Or it'll just go zooming past you.
Lands on the ground.
Yeah.
Gets dirty.
Yeah. So, it's just Nintendo's going to be Nintendo and do the same thing over and over again, but there's always a level of refinement there that other companies just don't have.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, when they do things well, they're unmatched.
Yeah, they just keep doing it over. That's what the example I always give is like, if you were to take me as a kid, pluck me out of 1992, hey, little Lincoln, you want to see the future of games? Yeah! And you'd only show me Nintendo systems, I'd be really disappointed, this is it?
Yeah.
They're pretty, but they, it's still platformers,
yeah,
it's still...
We killed it in the late 80s, and we just stuck to our guns.
Yeah, just kept going.
Right.
But Nintendo does it well, and I think there's always going to be a place for them. And this Zelda looks like they've actually kind of went outside their box, so I'm pretty excited for it. Yeah. Now, if only they do that for fucking Metroid.
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
I did, we here at ExplodeyBarrels don't condone piracy, but I did download...
Dolphin?
Yeah. Metroid...
I didn't know that. I didn't know that right away immediately.
Yeah. And I am I haven't started yet, but I'm planning on playing it through on VR.
Metroid Prime?
Yeah, you can play it. It works. I guess there's like a bunch of Dolphin games that work extremely well in VR. Like
nice.
Paper Mario, you can play it like a diorama. They said Metroid Prime's like a game that was made for VR.
Nice.
There's a few others, but those are the two off the top of my head. So that's on my list to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to play Metroid Prime. I didn't have a GameCube back in the day.
That was the one I started that generation with, was a GameCube, specifically for Rogue Squadron. And I ended up getting an Xbox. I never had a PS2, which is weird because that was that.
Yeah. Now I actually went through a console drought. I had.
Did your parents not love you?
That was part of it.
Okay.
They kept saying that I was adopted, and then they would hit me with a barbecue fork.
Yeah.
No, I started out with an Atari. My dad had an Atari. I think I mentioned that on the last one. And so I would play Pac-Man, and we actually have it here. It's actually plugged in. We can play it on this TV. It's insane. It's like so big. Look how big it is.
Oh, okay. Like 4 pixels.
I'd play Pitfall, Pac-Man, all those classics. Then my dad got an NES, so I got to play Mario, etc. Man, playing the first Metroid on NES changed my life.
Yeah.
But then,
she was a girl the whole time.
Oh my god. Then there was a while before I got my next console, but for Christmas, it's funny, I didn't even ask for it. My parents got me a Sega Genesis. And it's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
This Christmas?
No, not this Christmas.
Well, you said Christmas. You didn't specify what year.
No. I was like 9 or 11 or something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So like that, and that was it though for consoles. Like I never got a Super Nintendo, which I know is like blasphemy. And then any of the ones in between, like Nintendo 64, PlayStation, like none of that. My next console after Sega Genesis was the PS3.
I'd say mine started with the NES. My grandma owned a video store, and so she had consoles you could rent. You remember back in the days you could rent consoles?
Right. People believed you back then.
Yeah. So she had started with an NES, and so I would bring that home when it wasn't rented out. I'd bring it home constantly and hook it up, and eventually got my own. So I had Super Mario, the Duck Hunt, Bubble Bobble, Ice Climbers.
Bubble Bobble.
Yeah,
that's so good.
I know. Dig Dug, I think. A bunch of those. Then I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas, whatever year it launched. My aunt had a Sega Genesis. I never had a Sega Genesis at my house, but my aunt had one. And she had, like, the original OG. Like, it had, like, the fucking... Like, the newer... I say newer, but the new Genesis had, like... It was all sleek and had, like, 2 buttons, like a start and a reset. I remember this one was, like, red. It had, like 4 switches. I don't even know how to describe it.
Huh. Weird.
I don't know if it... but, yeah, she had one of those. I played that at her house. So I never really got into Genesis. And then the next gen would have been... I got a Nintendo 64 on launch week. And I don't remember how I talked my dad into it. Cause I would have been 10, because it was 96 it launched. And I remember I came home, we had Pilot Wings and Super Mario 64.
Nice.
And I remember playing the shit out of those games.
Did you get to play Star Fox?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember people losing, because that was one of the first polygonal games. And I remember, like a mainstream kind of like, and I remember people losing their minds.
Oh yeah,
like it's like it's actually there.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because we got that 64, and my dad never really played video games, and I don't know how he found out about it, but maybe his buddy at work was playing Metal Gear Solid on the PS1.
All right.
And I remember him telling me we got the wrong console because he wanted to like play adult games, and like there was the only thing that he found he enjoyed on the N64 was Turok. And so just one day out of the blue he came home with like a PS1 and a Walmart shopping bag. I don't know where he got it. Probably stole it. Killed somebody. I don't know. But he had a bunch of game discs in there, so we had a PS1, and that's the first console my dad really got into. And then after that would have been what was after GameCube? Was it N64 then GameCube? Yeah. So I got a GameCube, then the first console I bought with my own money was the Xbox.
Okay.
And then from there it was just every console pretty much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've since the because I got a PS3, and then I got a 360, and then I got a PS4. So I haven't really ever, other than the Nintendo, the original NES, Never owned a Nintendo system.
There's a fucking Wii U sitting right there, you fucking liar.
Yeah, it's not mine though.
Oh, okay.
And I never play it. That's my roommate's.
Oh, you never. What games does he have for it?
He has the 2 Zelda games. I can't remember which ones.
Skyward Sword and Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, I think, and then like an older one.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
You should play Wind Waker.
Think so?
Yeah.
Why?
It's good.
Fine. How you like that?
Yeah. I mean,
this is how adults hash out situations.
Breath of the Wild is going to come out for the Wii U.
Yeah, I think. Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting.
So you won't even need a Switch to play it.
Yeah, I wonder if Andy will get it. I know he liked the first whatever. I can't, whatever Zelda game that he was originally playing. It looked old. Like, it looked really old.
It's probably Twilight Princess. Because the Wind Waker...
Can you turn into a wolf in that one? Yeah, that's the one.
Wind Waker's got the real cartoony, cell-shaded graphics.
Yeah, I think he started playing that, and he hated it.
Really?
I could be wrong, but...
That's like one of my favorite Zeldas.
It seemed like it was a pain in the ass, like because he was playing Zelda...
It's like, you have to sail. There's a lot of water.
He was saying he was playing every day, and now he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen him actually turn on the TV in, like, a year.
Yeah. He just retreated to his room.
Yeah, just sadness.
Yeah.
But no, I'd be interested in seeing Breath of the Wild. Plus, if I actually get to watch it and critique it in person, I'll have more fuel to make Kyle just furious.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's I don't know why that is bringing me such joy. I think just because he just has this unmatched hype for this game. And, justifiably so, I suppose.
No, it is. I'm really hyped. I understand because I'm hyped for it. And
yeah.
I don't have a Switch on pre-order. I don't have a Wii U.
It's the beginning of March, right?
It comes out next week.
Oh, shit.
Like, I think Thursday?
Huh.
Yeah,
I'm a terrible imagine listening to a podcast where you're like you're tuning in to hear people's expertise, and I'm like, when's the Switch come out? No, it doesn't. Fuck you.
Fuck you. No, it doesn't. Zelda sucks.
Yeah, we have like absolutely no expertise in the thing that we're, like being proponents
yeah.
of. But yeah, he's just so hyped for it, and it's like a little kid near Christmas. Like, I can see the glow in his eyes. And he's like, it's coming, I can't wait. And so for some reason, my shitty sociopathic brain is like, shit on his dreams. And so anytime he talks about it, I'm like, wow, that sounds really stupid. And just like, he's like, yeah, look at this screenshot. And I'm like, wow, those trees are low poly.
Oh, no, I did mention that thing about the enemy picking up the other enemy and throwing at it.
Right, and I said in Painkiller, which came out in 2004,
yeah,
there are enemies that pick up other enemies and they use them as shields. And I was like, so that's cool. You got 13-year-old technology in your new game.
Classic Nintendo.
And he's like, I'm going to actually come to wherever you are and end your life with a sword.
Dressed as Link.
Yeah. And like, I swear, like, my coworkers would probably see a guy dressed as Link come in and stab me, and they'd just be like, yep. That's what we expect from Mike.
Called it.
Yeah. One guy hands the other guy a $10 bill. He says, I fucking told you. Not out of the ordinary whatsoever.
Yeah.
When it comes to me.
I don't know. I think the Switch... Nintendo's weird, man. Like, I didn't like the Wii. I like the GameCube. I love the GameCube.
I eventually came around to the original Wii.
I never liked it.
I didn't like... I thought the Wii U was ridiculous and worthless and pointless, and apparently most of the world agreed with me.
Yeah. You're right on that one. I mean,
like,
there was good games on it, just not enough.
Yeah. When I played... I think when I played Wii Bowling for the first time, because I thought it was kind of silly and gimmicky too, and then I played Wii Bowling, and I was like, I really like Wii Bowling. But I've seen some other games play it on it, so I'm like, all right.
Remember, Mike's an 86-year-old man, and old people like Wii Bowling.
My hip.
Yeah. I played Wii Tennis.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, ooh, my back hurts. Like, the next day.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just go exercise. Fuck this shit. Like, I mean, and, like, I never liked the Wii.
By the way, that made me think of something. It's like actually getting a workout from playing a game. I saw a video. This is an older video, so I'm not breaking anything up. But I saw a video of someone wearing VR goggles and standing on a multi-directional conveyor, like a treadmill, and using an actual gun. And so like they're running around in real time, so it feels like they're moving.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, like, man, if you were to play... It looked like a lot of effort, though. Like, so I was like, if you were to play for, like, an hour, like, you would be exhausted.
Yeah, imagine how far you walk in games.
Yeah, so then I started thinking, well, what if that becomes the norm, though? And then to get good at games, like, to be a top-level, like, esports Call of Duty player, you had to be in, like, insanely good shape.
Yeah.
And then the dynamic of who's a jock and who's a nerd would totally change. You'd just see like huge bodybuilders walking down the street and you'd be like, dweebs!
Yeah. Or just, oh shit, the nerds are coming.
The football players are running.
Yeah.
The nerds took my helmet and they gave me a wedgie.
See, that's my biggest fear, like we go to like an omnidirectional thing. I've got MS. So it's like, I have trouble walking as it is. It's like everyone's like, "Hey, we're gonna get omnidirectional treadmills, and you got to do that to game." You just see like this cripple like bringing up the rear. You're like, "What's up with that guy? He's holding the team back."
You've got the flag. We're like, "Come on, who gave him the flag?"
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Just laying on the ground, dying. I have MS.
You're like bumping into a twig and you can't get around it.
Yeah. The future sucks. I've always said it.
We told you can only play 2 positions in this, and that decoy and meat shield.
Yeah. Oh man.
But anyway, all right. So let's we did it again.
Yeah, fuck. We're awful at this.
All right. One of the things we decided we want to talk about was the worst movie-based game you could think of.
Oh yeah, I have some good ones on this. You go first though.
All right, I think this is when we were talking about bringing this up. I think I said the Horse Whisperer, the game. I don't even know what you would do. I guess it'd be like one long, boring Call of Duty QuickTime.
No.
It would just say press X to whisper to horse.
No. You need to use your microphone, and you actually need to whisper to the horse.
Okay. Oh, you have to keep below a certain volume level.
Yeah, and like you got to level up. I think when you start, like I was thinking about this all week when you mentioned that because it made me laugh. I was thinking like you start off and you can only whisper like basic commands to the horse, like trot, like run. But as you level up, like you can start giving the horse more insane commands, and you eventually have the horse do whatever you want. Like fucking like kill my brother, and it'll just like run down and kill whoever you tell it to.
Rob the diamond store. Grow opposable thumbs.
Cook me a can of chili.
Oh man, I want this.
Yeah, now you want it. See, we thought
Horse Whisperer Simulator 2018.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
By the ExplodeyBarrels video game group.
See, the one I was thinking, what I told you about, and I was like, I think this would be a shitty video game, is Super Mario Brothers, the movie, the game.
Yes. You play as John Leguizamo.
And that shitty world with all the fucking spiderweb cum-looking shit. Dennis Hopper's chasing you. Everything's awful, because it's that movie.
Right.
I can't think of anything good about this.
No.
You got those small head things wandering around. I'm just having flashbacks thinking about that, because the movie was so bad. What would you even do?
What were they thinking?
I don't think they were thinking.
I don't understand. I mean, they had a perfectly good cartoon television show.
You could add that wrestler guy. Who was that? The wrestler that played Mario. It was a wrestler, right?
In the cartoon or the movie?
The cartoon, but it was live action. Then it went to the cartoon.
I don't remember the Oh yeah. Okay, I know. Yes, that's right. You're right. I forgot about the live action part. Oh, I don't remember who that was.
It was a wrestler. I am almost 100%. It was a wrestler. It was either a wrestler.
It was a tugboat.
Yeah. It was either a wrestler or it was fuck. It has to be. I'm almost 100% positive it's a wrestler.
I will look it up.
Okay.
What else did we have? Ideas for terrible. Like, if you heard that they were making a video game out of this. I think I said Sense and Sensibility.
Yeah.
A video game.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Oh, the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah.
I don't know how you I don't even know how that one would work, though.
I think it's just like, press X to scorn.
Oh, so you'd be on the outside. You would be playing the woman with the Scarlet Letter?
Maybe one person would. It would be like...
Oh, it'd be like an asymmetrical multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you're like you're it. Oh, you got the letter.
But how do you get
rid
slattern.
of the letter?
How do you get whore? How do you get rid of the letter? What do you got to do to get rid of the letter?
I don't know. Once you have it, I think you have it for life.
But you
That's how the Christian world works.
That's true.
There's no forgiveness.
There is none. That Jesus guy was pretty clear on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty clear.
There's got to be a way to get rid of the letter, though. It wouldn't work.
Maybe you... You have to make it to the...
Is it like a stealth game?
You have to make it to the confessional.
Ooh.
Maybe you confess your sins and you lose the letter. But if you're elsewhere in the world and you're having sex out of wedlock, bam!
Oh, automatically?
Yeah, you get it. And then you have to make
it. No, you got the letter. You got the letter, right? And there's other players, it's like an MMO, but not really. Like it's a town, so it's like town filled. So you've got the letter, and people scorn you, and they get points for scorning you. But they've got to do other shit, and they get points for doing sinful things. And if you spy them doing it, they get the letter. Okay. But only if the person with the letter sees them doing it.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you've got the letter, you peek in Miss Goodfeed's room and see her rubbing one out. Like, that's a sin. Like,
you go, hey! I'm watching you!
I see you! You got the letter.
Boom! Right on your fucking forehead.
And then you start scoring it for points. And then you go steal something from the candy store. No one sees you, you're good. But, what goes around comes around. Yeah. It could work. This was supposed to be shitty ideas, Mike. We're turning these into fantastic ideas.
Yeah. We're just giving away $1 million ideas here to video game companies.
Copyright 2017.
Right. Patent pending.
ExplodeyBarrels.com. Or wait, fuck. We don't have .com. We're worthless. We're useless human beings.
Downton Abbey, the game.
My wife loves that show.
I've heard it's actually a pretty good show, but I mean, it's really just about...
It's a whitewashing of, like... It seriously is, like...
Isn't it just about, like, pithy drama?
It's like, hey, upper-class British people treated their servants really well. When not really. Not really, Mike. So, it's like, yeah, it's a drama show.
Yeah, and everyone just kind of pecks at each other. Yeah. And that, like, kind of, like, I'm being mean, but I'm British, so it sounds really polite.
Yeah, if you really made a movie about that... Or a game about that, like your servant in that time period of British history, the real Downton Abbey, like, oh, the soup's late, the maiden would slap you, then you'd be fired and you'd die in poverty. Oh. So that's how that would work.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, good idea. All right. It'd be real shitty.
Wow. Yeah. So here's the picture of the live action Mario.
Who the fuck is that?
And we don't know
what is that. What's the caption of that say? Read it.
Why don't Mario and live action mix? Like, why have every time we've tried to do this, it's been an unmitigated failure?
I don't know. That looks pretty successful to me.
Yeah. Trying to figure out who actually played him. While I'm doing that...
that guy does not have the body type of a wrestler. I might be wrong.
Well, I don't know. Some wrestlers were just fat guys.
Yeah, he looks like a baker.
That just eats all of his own creations. I'm doing that unless you have any more ideas for terrible movie-based games.
Oh, I could think of more, but we'll move on.
All right.
I'm going to actually, at the end of this podcast, I'm going to give out an email address I'm set up, and anybody listening, all three of you, if you have any shitty game idea, like awful movie that you think would make awful... God damn. You say it, Mike.
If you have any ideas of movies that would make shitty video games, email it to us, and the winner will get $1 million. Wait, we can't. We probably can't afford that, can we? No. The winner will be the winner.
Yeah. I'll give that email address out at the end of the thing here, and I'll put it in the description of this episode.
I'll give you guys the thing when we're done with the fucking thing, whatever.
I'm 4 beers in.
4 beers in.
I'm forgetting how to talk.
Right. Hey, did you watch that fucking... Yeah. All right, next subject.
Moving on.
All right, on our list here, which hasn't helped at all. I guess it's helped a little bit.
Maybe we should just pop a bunch of Ritalin before we do this.
I think that we would just kill all of our personality, though. We would just be reading things as if we were, like... reading like our tax returns.
That's what the people want, Mike.
Oh, is that?
They want super focused tax return podcast.
Right. Like next week, following programs, TNT.
Yeah, TNT.
TNT apparently knows drama.
NCIS, the show for people that hate young people.
I'm trying to think of like what that could stand for. No one is. Nope.
Nope.
Couldn't do it.
No crime in Seattle.
Oh! Boy, that's a boring show.
Yeah.
Just people walking around Seattle. Hey, it's great. Did you hear that one guy died? No, I didn't.
What from?
That's because it didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making it up.
I say he could have died, but from natural causes.
Right. I had a pen around here somewhere.
Okay, I was wondering what you're doing. Like, can't you get comfortable on the couch?
Yeah.
Nope, looking for his pen.
Got this kink in my dick. I mean hip. All right. So, the next thing we have is Fanfic Corner, we're calling it for right now. We'll probably come up with a better name.
Nope, that'll be what it is for 30 years.
Yeah.
We are not creative.
I'm not going to be alive in 30 years. Oh. All right, so the Fanfic Corner is just things that, this is actually kind of funny. It's just things that me and Lincoln thought of, and we're like, that sounds neat. I wish it was real.
Yeah. Like women with 3 boobs.
Oh my god.
Is that fanfic or is that
Did you just make that up just now?
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Off the top of my head.
Right, yeah. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's not in anything.
No?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
with 3... That's great, yeah.
It's like nothing.
That'd be hilarious if that was our Fanfic Corner. It wasn't like your thing that you talked about last week with Sherlock and Dexter. It's not like that. It's like, what if there's a gun that shot 2 bullets? My god!
It's called double barrel shotgun.
Oh, what?
You're bad.
My dreams are coming true.
Yeah, it's just fuck. Oh, shit. Just dumb shit.
Yeah.
For days.
What if there was a gun that could fly? That's it. That's our fanfic.
That's it.
No deep.
That's what our fanfic is.
No deep theories. No research.
Oh man.
Well, there was a magician staff that could turn back time.
What if there was a bed that turned into a couch?
What?
Wait, what are you sitting on?
It's, I don't know. It's some Italian word. Futon.
Sounds queer.
Oh man, I regret not thinking of that before we started it. It's like, what if we just painted it and like that was, and we did it like seriously. Like it's only like 45 seconds long, and our whole thing is just like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like an alien that was also like a wizard? Huh? And then you do one. You're like, yeah, it would also be cool if there was a plane that could turn into a tank, and it just comes back to me. That's it. And then we just go on to the next thing. Like, did they really think those were all good ideas?
We already don't have friends, Mike. That won't help.
All right, so Fanfic Corner. I don't know if you have anything prepared. I have a couple things.
Oh, yeah, you go first.
So I'll go on. You know what? I'll do the first video game I ever thought of, and I actually have it all written down. Like if I won the lottery, it'd be the very first thing I did. I mean, like we're starting a video game company and we're making my idea real.
I hope this is pornographic. Go continue.
It's not. Sorry.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No boobs.
No.
So when I at some point, I don't know, I was either bored, I just felt the need to create something, and I was trying to think of like what would be the ultimate first-person shooter. And I started thinking like, all right, well, let's get like, I hate how in so many first-person shooters, even though like you're supposed to be part of the military or whatever, somehow it ends up being you versus 900 dudes. And maybe you'll have like a squad of like 3 other guys with you, but for the most part, it ends up being you versus. It just doesn't make any sense. And I was like, well, what is a realistic scenario in which you would have one or very few good guys versus a lot of bad guys? And my idea was prison. There's only so many guards, and there's tons of inmates. So I'm also a big fan of enemy variety. I think we talked about that last week, where I was talking about why like Call of Duty games are okay, but it's mostly just shooting people, and I think people are boring. So to take it up a notch, I thought, all right, what if we had a riot at a intergalactic, like maximum security penitentiary that has like the worst of the worst from all over the galaxy, different species of aliens who'd have a lot of enemy variety. And so I came up with this whole world and this whole story, and you are a guard in this prison. The game, I was going to call it Hell's Drag, which is the name of the prison. That's what it's like, kind of like slang for the prison. Like I came up with the planet is Helago, and it's like really deserty and whatever. So like everyone just kind of calls it Hell. Like, oh yeah, I did 20 years in Hell, and that's what they mean. And because people pretty much always have life sentences when they go there, they call the prison the Long Drag, and so it's Hell's Drag. So that's how I came with that. Man, it sounds dumber when I say it out loud. When I'm writing it down, I'm like, this is pure, unadulterated genius. I don't know. It's still going to be Hell's Drag. Fuck you.
It's my lottery money. I'll do what I want.
Yeah. I'm going to invent a sword that's also a cane. Oh my god. Okay. Yes. But yeah, you're guard there, and then your guard there when the military, like the Galactic Allegiance or whatever the kind of the good guys are. I'd call them Rebel Alliance, except for the Rebel Alliance always seems to be the minority, and the Empire is huge.
Yeah, we don't like minorities.
No, wait.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Just agreed to. What have you done? Oh shit. There's no, but the Galactic Allegiance is sort of the Empire. If the Empire wasn't a bunch of dickheads,
yeah,
they're kind of the good guys. They basically catch the like Osama bin Laden of space. They catch Space Hitler, basically.
So
like,
me from Mass Effect 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
like the worst criminal. Like he's been like irradiating whole planets and blowing up suns and just like causing general griefing on a galactic scale.
Is it like a General Grievous?
No.
Okay.
But anyway, so they catch this guy finally, and they take him there. And I wanted him to be like a really cool kind of like, smart...
Snake Plissken.
Like a smart bad guy kind of character. Like a... my favorite bad guy from anything ever has been Megabyte from the Reboot series. I don't know if you've ever seen Reboot. It's great.
I'm shaking my head no.
It's voiced by Tony Jay. He has like the greatest bad guy voice of all time. But anyway, something like that. Someone who's like real kind of suave and smart, and just and he's so smart that once he gets there, this is kind of like a big moment for everyone at the prison. Like, oh shit, they fucking got this guy. But he's so smart that he already had moles there, because you're like, if I get caught, I know where I'm going. And so one of them disables the security system. All the prisoners get out, and it's you fighting through this whole prison of released prisoners, trying to get to this guy to make sure he doesn't get away. So that was my idea for a game, and I wrote down like all the weapons. I wrote down like all the the plot points, all the enemies, like the controls, all the different levels and environments, and everything like that. And in my head, it would play like a combination of. I would like the gunplay to be kind of Halo-y. I kind of like the heavier feel. I like different rules for different enemies. Like, that's a big thing I've always liked about Halo. Like, you have to play by the rules, like, this takes off shield, this does damage. If you shoot the fucking... Are you okay? It's like you're gonna die. It's just to see you over there going,
It's like that. It's that drunk burp where it's counting my chest, and I'm trying to work it out, and then I'm tasting lunch while I'm doing it. So I'm all right.
I thought, for a moment there, I was like, man, is my game idea that bad? I'm just like, yeah, and then you would go down to, and you're just like, stop talking, please. Was it? Oh yeah, so I like the kind of heavy feel of Halo. I like the rules that go by. So there'd be stuff like that. Like their guns would do several different types of damage. Like there'd be bullet damage, energy damage, fire damage, and they would affect different enemies in different ways. So you'd have to switch out between guns. But I also kind of like the puzzle sort of stuff that's in like Half-Life 2. So I'd kind of like to include a little bit of that, because Halo is all combat for the most part. I don't think there's any puzzles.
It is combat evolved.
Yeah. I don't think there's any puzzles at all. Like, not even like blow this up and it falls over and it makes a bridge. Not even anything like that. It's just straightforward, march through these areas and shoot stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I kind of like that, but plus some puzzle. Like, I was thinking of different puzzles, like something behind like an unbreakable wall or glass thing. Like, you can see it, but you can't get to it, and like shooting like a vent and throwing a grenade up and having it come out in that vent and blow something up. Just stuff like that, just to kind of pause the action for a bit, make you think.
Make sure you put the word space before everything to make sure people remember it's in space.
Okay.
So it's not a vent. It's a space vent.
It's a space vent.
It's not a grenade.
It's a space grenade.
It's not glass. Space glass.
Space glass. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, maybe I'll just call it Space Game.
That's the way to go.
Coming this year to Space PS4.
Space Game.
Space game. So there's my fanfic.
That's a good one. I like it. I mean, I trust your creativity, having known you for what seems like infinity.
There's that word again. It's making shit up.
It's making shit up. I guess, I didn't really come into this knowing what I talk about. But there's one, dream game I have, and the technology's probably not there yet, but I'll talk about it anyways.
Okay.
You've got and zombies are really overplayed, but I'm going to talk about them anyways.
All right.
But you have games like DayZ, which never got finished.
Right.
Probably never will be.
Yeah.
You have games that, you've got a lot of DayZ clones.
No, the War Z.
The War Z, which is now, it was Infestation Survivor Stories. Now it's something else.
If we keep changing the name, it'll eventually be good.
Ah, fuck. God damn that thing. Whatever it's called. I don't know. But what I want, instead of trying to do this whole, DayZ takes an island. It makes this huge environment. Same thing with War Z. Same thing with most of them.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to do that, I want to take, a medium-sized city. Like a raccoon city.
Okay.
Let's call it that. Or, okay, we're Columbus, Ohio.
All right.
Columbus is a good example.
Okay.
Artificially close it off, it's been quarantined. But you model that whole city, the interiors, the exteriors, the sewers. I think the Division would be a good example of that tech. The Division, of all its faults, some of not all the interiors are modeled.
Mm-hmm.
But it is New York. It's a lot bigger than Columbus.
Yeah.
But they have the sewer. They have the subway, the sewer systems. Take that to the umpteenth degree with Columbus. Give it the. I don't want to say.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Does it? I didn't bring any. Never. I was gonna say, could it catch me lighting a joint or anything? Fuck. I'm too
modeling interiors.
Okay, modeling interiors. Model a medium-sized city.
Okay,
completely.
All right.
I don't want to say MMO. Fill it with zombies.
How would the Grand Theft Auto engine work for that?
No, because that's.
Are there not a lot of interiors?
No, there's really not.
Okay.
I don't care what engine it's on. I just want this done.
Okay.
And then I don't know the player count I'd want, but I want once you're on a server. You're on that server, and I don't want to say permadeath because DayZ, you get a lot of griefing.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I want you to be able to get killed by other players, but I want you to be able to. I want there to be consequences for interacting with other players. Maybe not death.
Okay.
Maybe you
can trade.
You can trade. Maybe you can get knocked out by other players, and they can steal your shit.
Okay.
They can't kill you.
Okay.
Zombies can kill you.
Okay.
But I want it so when you log out, your character stays there. So you have to find safe places to log out. And this whole city's infected. But you have the ability to barricade shit.
Okay.
You can find an apartment building, find a room. You can destroy staircases.
Okay.
And that server is yours. And there is a set number of zombies. So if the server population of 64 players or whatever it's decided on manages to kill 200,000 zombies over the course of a year, hey, you did it.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked. Reset the server. But there'll be weapons. You'll be able to craft your own weapons. It sounds super generic when I'm talking about it. You judge your thing bro, that sounds really stupid. I'm talking about, I just added an extra layer on top of a generic zombie game.
Right.
But I like generic zombie games.
Yeah.
If they're done well, I think there's a place for them. And
Is Dying Light your favorite? As far as all the games Dead Rising. What was the one on the island by? The one I'm talking. What was the biggest one before Dying Light? It's on that tropical island.
Is
it just called Dead Island?
Is it Dead Rising? What the fuck? It's the one made by people that made Dying Light.
Yeah, Silver Game or
Silver.
Right?
Fuck.
Man, we're really bad.
I'm really drunk. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Is it
about.
called Dead Island? I thought it had a slightly more complicated name than that. Maybe
Dead Rising, I'm pretty sure is what it was.
I thought Dead Rising was the one where you're running against the clock.
Yeah, you might be
Did
right.
they just come out with Dead Rising 4?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What? Fuck. Yeah, but Dying Light, I'd say...
Do they do it the best?
That one or
it is called Dead Island. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Sorry, everybody.
it almost sounded too generic to be Dead Island when we said it.
Techland.
Yeah, Techland. I'd say Dying Light or fuck, I can't remember it. There's one made by Microsoft. It's on PC and Xbox.
Is that one of the Dead Risings?
No, it's damn it, State of Decay. State of Decay.
All right.
That one's really good.
Is that 2D?
No, it's 3D. It's open world. You control a group of survivors, and once one of your survivors dies, they're dead, and you take control of another one, and you can switch. Dying Light's more of a complete game. It's more of a big budget complete game, but State of Decay does some really interesting things. It's got, it's more of like a survival, like it's like I'd compare it like it's a Walking Dead kind of like you're in the Walking Dead when you're playing that. And State of Decay 2 is supposed to come out this year. Okay. Oh, that's actually a Microsoft exclusive we didn't talk about.
All right.
And if they give it more money, don't cancel it. It could be really good. So, yeah. Those are my two favorite, I guess, zombie genre games out right now.
All right.
So
yeah, I can't wait till I've started pricing out parts for my new PC, and that's
it's on PS4, right?
Yeah, but since I'm so close,
yeah.
So you said it was so close. So you said it was good to play with mods and stuff. So
yeah. Well, there's not that many mods for it, but yeah, there's a few that makes it worth it.
I like that they did that one day thing for, I think, what was it, say April Fools, where when you kicked people, they would go flying.
Oh yeah,
like into the horizon. That's awesome. I like when games do stuff like that.
There's a lot of really good Easter eggs in Dying Light, like funny ones.
Yeah.
Like there's one like a electrical engineer sent Techland things on their Twitter like, hey, you're the power, there's a bunch of power substations in the game, hey, this doesn't make sense, these are too big or whatever. And they sent them this, they responded showing how power is generated on that, and they just had a bunch of zombies and treadmills. And actually you can find that area where they filmed that. There's a bunch of treadmills with a bunch of dead scientists. And there's call outs to Excalibur, there's an actual Super Mario place where you gotta it looks like a 2D but in 3D place. It's there's a lot of really good Easter eggs in that game.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a really good, really fun game. You play anything new this week?
We talked last week, I was telling you that I was playing through Half-Life 2 again. I finished that. I finished episode 1. I finished episode 2. Still great. It's actually kind of amazing the difference between Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Just in that short amount of time. The outdoor environments in Half-Life Episode 2. And just Half-Life 2, they're kind of rough, but in Episode 2, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little old, but they still pretty much hold up.
Yeah.
And man, that final battle against 8 Striders with all the hunters was absolute chaos.
I hated it.
Yeah, I did really well this time. Although there was one time where, man, when I just freak out sometimes. I'm holding it all together, but when I'm really frustrated and something happens that's clearly not my fault, I will lose my goddamn mind. And I was unstuck on this last Strider, and it had 3 hunters around it, and I would drive at it, and I'd try to take at least 2 of the hunters out with my car. And I just kept missing. And I was like, how do I keep missing? Finally, I get 2, and I turn around to get the last one, and a rock got stuck under my axles, just enough so my back 2 tires weren't touching the ground. And so I'm just staying there spinning, and the Strider turned around and zapped me, and I just lost it. I was like, oh, fuck you cock goblin, fuck pig dick nibbler, fuck, just
cock waffle.
Yeah, just screaming at my computer. But it was great. I actually did a pretty good job. I started getting really efficient at hitting all the hunters with my car, popping out, throwing the Magnuson device, and just busting out my pistol. I felt like a badass because I was just boom, 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 take it off, thunk, bang, and then I hear all the other the survivors woo, go Freeman. And I was like, that's right.
Yeah, I am the free man.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're surprised?
Yeah.
Have you heard of all the other stuff I did?
This ain't nothing.
I went to Zen and I killed the Nihilith. Yeah, the overbeing.
Yeah.
Killed it with a fucking crowbar.
Jammed around his fat fucking face.
Yeah. So I got done with that, and then I moved on to Portal.
Okay, I was gonna say
I finished Portal 1 in about 2.5 hours. It goes really quick, especially when you know how to do the puzzles.
Yeah, it's a quick game.
It doesn't have a ton of replay value, honestly, just because once you know how to fix it, you always will know how.
Yeah.
Once you figure out how to finish the puzzle, you'll always know how to finish that particular puzzle. I've only ever played through Portal 2 once. So.
Did you ever do a co-op?
I did with Andy.
Okay.
Boy, when we figured out.
Oh boy, you're like, boy.
When we figured out that one puzzle where you both have to go through at the same time and hit each other to drop down. That's what I love about those Portal games. Once you figured out a puzzle, like before you figure out the puzzle and you're just looking at it, you're like, God, I'm so stupid. How can't I figure this out? But when you figure out, you're like, I am the smartest man alive. Like if you figure it out without help, you're just like, I have logic and reasoning capabilities beyond words.
That's the way I felt when I was playing The Witness. I stared at these fucking puzzles for like 3 hours. Like, what the fuck am I supposed? And a lot of times I just walk away and come back like 10 minutes later and be like, somebody slapped me in the face. Like, oh yeah, here it is. Be like,
that's funny. That's what they say about like Dark Souls and Bloodborne bosses sometimes too, where you're just running into a brick wall, the thing's just like killing you repeatedly, and you just like go outside and get a breath of fresh air for a second, come back with like calm, and you're like, oh, he turns his back every time he does this. Dead.
I always heard like playing those games like slamming your dick in a door.
Over and
over again.
And then begging From Software to do it again.
Yeah.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
I started playing Arkham Knight on PC.
Yes. Over and over and over again.
Over and over. Fucking didn't know that you had to wait like 2 minutes for it to start on PC.
It's so weird.
Well, it was fucking. I knew it was bugged as shit when it came out for PC. It had a bunch of issues when it launched, and they fixed 90% of them, I guess, but it still takes forever to launch.
Huh.
It has random slowdown in areas. Like, I'll
like all of a sudden it gets molassesy?
No, it'll just stop. It'll just stop. It's not like one where you'll get stutters. It'll just stop. And it's not one of those ones where you jump ahead, you'll stop, and then it'll pick up down the way. It just stops, and then it'll just start again.
Okay.
Which pisses me off. But, anyways, I've played quite a bit of it. I'm pretty close to beating, I think, but it's got the Batmobile in it. Have you played Arkham Knight? Or did you play any of the Arkham games?
No. I watched you playing that one though, where they filled the streets with
Arkham City, probably.
Okay, yeah. You brought it here.
Okay.
And I was watching you play for a little while.
Yeah, so they're all great. Yeah. I like Arkham Knight really a lot too. But with the Batmobile, it's hard to explain. Like Batman's that whole no killing thing.
Yes.
It's always been ridiculous.
Right.
Because he just beats the ever-living shit out of these guys. You know he's had to accidentally break somebody's neck.
Right.
But just adding the Batmobile adds an extra layer to that.
Right.
Because you're flying through the streets. And the way they take care of that in this game is like, when you hit somebody with it, like they get shocked like there's a taser in the front. But you're still hitting them going 120 miles an hour.
Right. And I've seen like videos of him hitting people and that like it zaps them, but then their lifeless body ragdolls 40 feet down the street into a lamppost. It's like, he's fine.
Oh, and it's like,
it's fine. We electrocuted him first. It's fine.
The electricity protected him from the lamp pole. Then you intervene, and these cop cars are chasing like these cars, like, and you're supposed to intervene and stop them, and like you just jet up and like you can like kind of strafe. So you hit the A button and it jets you into these cars and they just fucking go flying and like crash into these buildings like through like just rolling, and you're like, he's fine. And, like you see him crawl out of the wreckage every time, like just to get across the point that they're not dead.
Yeah. But
they're just fucking tumbling end over end. Like an obviously fatal car crash.
Yeah.
You know they're not wearing their seatbelts because they're criminals. And then you can shoot criminals with your tank, but it shoots like rubber bullets, and it knocks them out.
Okay.
And I didn't really think about it until there's this one part where there's a bunch of them shooting at you with the assault rifle, so you just shoot them with your stun rounds.
Okay.
And then you got to go. This area's blocked off. You lower the blockade, and then you got to pull your Batmobile in where you just knocked all these guys out. So I put my Batmobile in, and I just realized like I'm grinding these guys into dirt with my Batmobile. Like I'm just running this 2-ton vehicle just over their corpse. Well, what are now their corpses? Just and just like back and forth.
Now they're fine.
Grinding them into hamburger. Yeah, nope, they're fine.
Yeah.
And then you turn on the bat vision after you that, like, nope, unconscious, 45 beats per minute, they're fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just, oh god. But I mean, it's a great game. I like. It's really close to the comics. I'm a big Batman fan.
Yeah.
So it does better than the movies ever have. And it's got all. It comes with all the DLC, so it's got all the costumes. I'm playing as Ben Affleck Batman from 2016, which I think is probably the best bat suit from the movies.
Nice.
So it's got his chiseled jaw. Ben Affleck's chiseled jaw.
Yeah, and his 6'11" frame.
Oh yeah, he's fucking huge.
That's cool. I plan on. Oh god!
Correction from last week. I said the guy that was directing the Batman movie was the director from the Godzilla movie.
You said it was Gareth Edwards.
It's not Gareth Edwards. It is the guy that directed... God, I'm drunk. I fucking forget. God damn it.
Why are you hitting me?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm.
While you're doing that, I'll throw in another correction. I said... I think when I was talking about From Software, I said Mizugaki instead of Miyazaki. Apologies. I watch both UFC and I play Dark Souls.
Did you fuck up?
and Mizugaki is a UFC fighter.
That's better than mine.
Miyazaki.
At least my guy was a director.
Okay.
That was in the same genre.
Yeah.
No, the guy is Matt Reeves. He's directing the Batman movie.
Oh, that's Cloverfield, right?
Cloverfield, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes movie.
All right.
So he's a good director.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
Cool.
And they're making a Nightwing movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be...
Why are you smiling, Mike?
Because I'm trying to think...
You're smirking.
I can't remember his name. He's got 3 names. Is this going to be Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Oh, I don't know.
Because remember the end of...
yeah, but they're not tying those together.
I know. At the end of Dark Knight Rises, he finds the Batcave, and a lot of people were saying that was going to happen.
It's funny you mention that, because in the new the Arkham Knight, you can choose to play as, like, Christian Bale Batman suit.
Yeah.
And you compare that Batman suit, it's a lot more high-tech looking than Batfleck.
Batfleck? Fleck Man?
And I don't know how big he is compared to Christian Bale, but man, Christian Bale's Batman looks puny compared to Batfleck.
Yeah, he looked. We talked about it a little last week. He looked enormous.
I could talk about Ben Affleck's body all day.
We're open-minded on this podcast. So, yeah, that's really all I've been playing recently. But so I'm building my new computer. I'll get to play more new stuff when that happens. Hopefully within the next probably 2 or 3 weeks.
You decide on the graphics card you're gonna get?
I was talking with Andy last night about it. And he's like, you should get a 1080. I'm like, how much are those? He's like, they're going to be like $500, $600. And I was like, woof. Ugh.
Well, the 1080 Ti, I guess, is probably launching this spring from what I'm hearing. And that might lower the price of the 1080.
Yeah.
Might.
Yeah.
But you'd probably have to wait till the spring. You can get a 980 Ti now for a decent price. And that's what I got, and it looks great.
Yeah. And what I'm really going to do is I'm going to go hard in on the...
Whole hog, balls deep.
Balls deep. I'm going to go all in on a processor. Like, no skimping on the processor.
You go on i7.
And then, like, as much as I can do it before it, like, hurts, like, I might not be able to afford food. Like, like, I'm going to go in as hard as I can on a processor. And then, even if I don't get the best graphics card, at least when I upgrade, there won't be a huge bottleneck.
So when you turn this thing on, you want it to rip a hole in the space-time continuum. It's just...
Yeah.
Okay.
I want it to start hovering.
Yeah. I'll probably end up getting a 1080 Ti when it comes out.
Okay.
If my wife doesn't divorce me in the process. Only because of VR. Like, I still get stuttering with my 980 Ti.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but...
That's the other thing. I want this to be VR ready.
Virtual integration.
Identification.
Vertical integration. Yeah, and from what I'm hearing now, the next round of VR headsets are going to launch in 2018.
Okay.
And I'm hearing they're going to be quite a step up. Like,
yeah.
There was that interview with Valve Newell. Fucking Gabe Newell. A few weeks back, I read, and I mean, I don't know how much of this is speculation, but he would know more than anybody. But he's saying like 4K display per eye,
Jesus,
wireless. So they're going to need some oomph.
Yeah.
But I mean, display now is like a CRT monitor per eye. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's still when you're in there, you don't really.
Yeah. I mean, you can still see the little lines in between the pixels.
You can, but I'm hoping they have some trade-in program for us original adopters. Because I paid $800 for this, and I want the new one.
I mean, you'll be able to at least sell it.
I know.
Else.
But
there'll be people like me that'll be like, "I'll give you $1 for it."
Sounds like a fair deal.
Yeah, but we could have put down a thing on here just to talk about like what's coming up for VR, not just what's actually coming up, but just the implications. It's one of those.
Well, did you hear about the Oculus? You heard about the Oculus ZeniMax lawsuit?
Yes.
Did you hear about ZeniMax has now put an injunction in to stop the sales of the Oculus
because they're using technology that might
code.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I feel about that.
Yeah, they've had so many problems.
I know. Goddamn, it's like
I know
a fucking train
people are
wreck.
saying that the new Oculus is better than the Vive as far as
the controllers.
That and just the whole thing. It's a step up. Some about that company just kind of I don't trust getting something from them. Like they've had so many problems. I've taken just a huge step back from them. As far as
I have a Vive,
and you love it, right?
I love it, and I've tried an Oculus. I went to the Columbus Game Developers Conference they have at COSI, and they had quite a few Oculus there, so I got to try the Oculus. It is more. I'm not gonna lie. It is more comfortable. Like it's got the rigid head strap, but that
so it doesn't slide down on you. Like I remember we kept adjusting it.
Yeah,
on my face.
You can get the rigid head strap. It sits a lot more comfortably than it's got the integrated headphones, which not a big deal. I don't really mind. It is nice. I'm not gonna lie, but Vive's coming out with the rigid head strap with integrated headphones, so that's not a big deal. The people, it's supposedly got more pixels per inch, or whatever, than the. It's got supposedly got a clearer display than the Vive. I didn't notice a difference, and the Vive has definitely got a bigger field of vision, like a wider display.
Okay.
So I would give that category to the Vive. The touch controller is more comfortable than the Vive wands for sure. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. Like they're just more comfortable, but when you play a game, like I didn't play a game where you held a gun with the touch, but I can tell you right now, it's not going to feel right. Yeah. Because they don't feel like guns. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great for things where you're picking stuff up. Okay. But if you need to hold like a sword or a gun, it's not going to feel right. Yeah. And Oculus has right now, a shit ton of tracking issues with that. It does not do room scale. Like the Vive. My Vive, I've got it set up down in my basement. And have you been down there? Yeah, it's as big, if not a little wider than this room.
I haven't played Vive in your new house, but I saw the room. Your daughter was down there playing it when we came over to play Cards Against Humanity.
It's probably 16 feet wide.
Yeah, like 16 by 16.
Yeah, and my Vive tracks that whole area, no problem. Yeah. With two little base. God damn it. Lighthouse tracking stations.
Eventually, you're not going to have any consonants left.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
diabetes. So I've got to mount them in the corner of my basement, and they just plug into the power source in the wall. Tracks. I've had no issues. But I know from frequenting the Oculus subreddit and the Oculus forums, because I considered buying a Rift.
Right. Well, you were until you saw all the shipping problems. You're like, I might not get mine for another year.
And the fact that they weren't shipping with hand controllers, motion controllers.
Yeah.
And
there were tarantulas in most of the boxes.
Yeah, most of the boxes. the spiders from Arachnophobia.
Yeah. Real news, people.
Yeah. Yeah, tons of tracking issues right now. Yeah. People just cannot get room scale to work correctly. Right. So, I don't think it's worth it. If you're going to get one, I unequivocally would recommend the Rift. Or the Vive. Edit that out.
You have one job.
The Vive!
Yeah, which one are you going to recommend?
The Vive! Yeah. Get the Vive! And,
yeah, we have a Rift at work. We have a couple... VR projects that we have like a VR guy kind of.
Mike's got a cool job. Mm-hmm. I work for the government.
So we can't believe anything that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Moon landing was faked.
Earth's flat. Gravity's not real.
Yep.
Cats are actually dogs.
That's what I should do. Actually, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too deep into that rabbit hole, but I do want to at least tell them the idea that I had for a podcast before this one, because I think they'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Unless they believe in any of the stuff that you just said. But no, we have sometimes we do VR projects. I work for a company that does we're marketing for healthcare and stuff like that. So one was like a VR perspective from someone that's having a seizure, like what they think about. No, not like that. He's shaking around on the ground.
I'm getting really motion sick from this. What is he thinking about? Probably that he's having a fucking seizure.
No, it was like kind of like
put that stick in my mouth.
But you have to do it in real life. And then you level up.
Yeah.
No, it was from the perspective of this woman.
You spent the whole time looking at your tits, didn't
you? I tried to. We'll get to that in a sec. But getting ahead of me.
Okay.
I wouldn't want you to spoil the surprise. But you're sitting there and this guy's talking to you, and you can kind of hear her inner thoughts. And it gets like, it starts doing that like whine, like that tinnitus whine, that like that. And your vision starts to kind of darken, and you wake up like on the ground with like everyone like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, is everything okay?" So it's kind of interesting. Like, and the person who filmed it is actually, she has epilepsy, and so she was able to communicate like what it's actually like to have like not like a full blown whatever, like, you know, but like one of those ones where you kind of like stare off or you sort of faint like that. So yeah, it was interesting. But yes, when I was in there, I immediately looked down.
That's right.
But it was too far out, so I couldn't see. But I'm like, I forgot that when you put on VR glasses, you don't disappear from the real world. So if anyone was looking at me while I was watching this, I'm just, like grabbing the back of my head and trying to look at my tits.
Oh man. No females are going to listen to this podcast.
No one's going to listen to this podcast.
No, yeah, let's be honest. Are your cats listening? Maybe. Probably not.
Like, what, is that like a big revelation that guys want to look at boobs? Did I just, now those guys want to look at boobs. Boo!
Yeah.
Boo for that podcast.
That's true.
You've tried... Oh, yeah, so I got to try the Oculus at work, and I liked it.
But you've tried the Vive as well.
I tried your Vive, yeah. I played actual games with yours. The one at work, we didn't really play any games. We just tried these... You know, I watched that little presentation, and I've watched some videos, and they did this one thing where they put down a 2x4, but in the VR, it's a beam over like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
and so it feels like you're. Yeah. They got a window fan and just put it on me. I was like, oh, you guys are dicks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I played with the Vive, I got used to the. I really liked the hand controls. I liked the wands. I liked, especially that one game where you have. It was kind of a demo game, but it had all the guns and stuff, like the reloading.
Oh, the H3 VR, the hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades.
Actually putting the clip in the gun felt so right.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, fucking awesome.
This feels good.
Yeah. It's like touching my nipples.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Coming from a gun lover's perspective, like, yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah, just solid the way I would expect it to kind of, you know, play out.
Yeah.
So, once I get the new computer, you know, I'm gonna kind of start keeping an eye out for that, because there was a couple games that I played at your place that I was like, man, I wish I had like another 15, 20 minutes, like maybe even an hour. I like that one with you're near the campfire and the zombies kind of come at you from all sides.
Yeah. There's more. Like, you haven't played Arizona Sunshine, which is like an actual full-fledged game. It's like, you know, a zombie shooter, but you can actually move through the environment.
Okay.
I don't think you played Vanishing Realms, which is still my favorite. It's not complete. It's early access, but it takes like it's 4 hours probably to beat what they've got.
Okay.
It's a first-person like Zelda, but it's awesome. Like, you get a bow, sword, and you're in these dungeons. You got puzzles to solve. It's great. I've got a video of my wife playing it, like, you've got to crawl under these swinging blades, and you actually got to crawl on the floor, and she's, like, on the floor, like, ah! Like, screaming. So, it's great. VR, there's not a killer app yet. There's not one thing I'd say you have to own a VR headset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Resident Evil 7 might be the closest thing.
Yeah.
Because people are saying that it is.
Yeah, and that's why I want to wait to play it, because I've heard so many great things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Especially just because some parts are fucking scary. And I can't imagine... The thing that really sold me on it was there was someone on Reddit, and the way he described playing it in VR, it was just like... It was one of those things where you hear it and you're like, that's just that's perfect. That's like, I know you're not lying, and the way that you said it was so perfect. I know that it's good. And what he said was, it's so engrossing, and it's so, what's that word? Like,
atmospheric?
Or like it's you feel like you're there. There's a word for that.
Feelings.
It starts with an I. Immersion.
Oh, okay.
You're so immersed, and it feels like, and the controls are good, and the way that you like the tracking is fucking perfect. He said, when I play Resident Evil 7, it doesn't feel like I'm playing a game. It feels like I'm going to an actual place. He's like, I'm familiar with that house now, as I am familiar with my office at work, with my parents' house, with friends' houses. That's like where like it sits in a different category in my brain of like, yeah, let's go there, not let's play this game. And I was like, that sounds fucking amazing. For it to actually feel like a place like that, for it to be so immersive that your body actually thinks, oh, we're going to the Baker house.
Yeah, let's go spend some time with the Bakers.
Yeah, they seem like a fun bunch.
Yeah.
Also, I lent them a cup of sugar, didn't get the cup back. Yeah. So we're just gonna mosey on down there and
just have a
polite.
Have a face to face.
Yeah.
Not gonna get heated, but I'm gonna let them know my feelings.
But yeah, anyway, when he said that, I was like, I gotta fucking try this. Like, I can't imagine that. Something like being so engrossed in something like that where you actually like, oh, I'm fucking there.
I'd say Vanishing Realms. I've kind of gotten that point. I played it enough that I know the dungeons and the environments enough. I'm like, it's different than a game that you play.
Yeah,
because you don't remember it from a 2D perspective. You remember it as a place you've been.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's what really excited me.
Yeah. To
actually be there, because that's always what I've wanted out of a game, is to kind of like, you're fucking there.
Yeah.
And
you're there, dude.
Especially a game like that, and also, of course, even though we talked about it earlier, really makes me upset about PT and Silent Hill's getting canceled, because I wouldn't be surprised if they had VR planned for that as well, as fucking good as it was.
Yeah.
God. And oh my God, how fucking scary. I played PT in a room with 5 other people giving me suggestions and telling me what to do. I was still scared out of my mind. With 5 other people around. Like, I played Amnesia with 1 other person, and that cut my fear in half. I was able to get through it with Andy there.
Yeah.
But, like, PT, a couple times, I just stopped. I was like, guys, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I'm so scared, you guys. And I started crying. They hit me.
Keep going, you pussy. Yeah. It's sad. I am upset it was canceled, because that was a good demo or playable trailer or teaser or whatever the hell.
I mean, if that had been like an indie game, I mean, people would have bought that for $10.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You probably need an actual ending. It doesn't really. It just kind of sputters out, and then you get the
call early access. Go give it a call a day.
Yeah,
like Jesus.
Oh, speaking of that, Zen Source is going to be coming out. I think they said this year for sure.
Oh, okay.
So I'm stoked about that, even though it's taken them forever. But I don't know how many people are on that team.
It'll be here before Half-Life 3.
Yeah. But I thought they did a great job with Black Mesa Source. I had a lot of fun with that game. It was like it's an HD walk down memory lane.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
and it's some of the parts they didn't change anything. Some of the parts are just as fucking infuriating as they were.
Yeah,
like the jumping parts.
Oh God! Oh yeah, the fucking hanging crates.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the part exactly what I was thinking of.
I fell so many times.
Yeah.
I had to quick saving on every jump.
Yeah, I hated that fucking part.
God, I'm glad they got rid of most of the platforming in Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
There's a little bit like the bridge when you're under the bridge on the scaffolding. You kind of have to jump from.
But it's not like the crates.
No.
Yeah.
So, oh man, remember if they're doing Zen, exactly like. I know they said they're adding more. It's going to be longer than
they're adding more platforming.
Well, yeah. Do you remember all the platforming in 10? You had to stand on that tower.
Yeah.
And then drop on the stingray thing, and then oh my god.
Yeah. PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, the black and white visions of Half-Life 1 as a 1,000-yard stare off into the distance.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I started laughing. I died so many times on the goddamn crates. I was like laughing out. I was like, ha, okay. Like,
I'm glad you can laugh. I get to the point where I just want to destroy things, punching holes in walls.
Just grabbing the cat and throwing it against the wall.
My family and pets are hiding from me. No. Got my shirt off out on the front lawn, swinging a lawn chair.
Your wife is like huddled around your daughter in the closet. He won't hear us. Don't make a sound, sweetie. She sneezes. No!
Daddy doesn't mean it. Oh, God. People are going to think I'm a horrible person.
This is all in a fictional world, ladies and gentlemen.
I am shirtless drinking beer a lot, though.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. In the summer, I drink beer shirtless, and I watch and I yell at basketball games.
Okay.
I've become my dad.
I spend a lot of time on my back deck drinking beer or smoking the reefer. So
It's pretty soon you're going to be a felon.
It's it's medicinal.
That's right. Yes.
So
you have MS.
I do have MS. So it's okay.
It's okay. Don't freak out, everybody.
Yeah. Don't call Jeff Sessions.
Jeff
I'm so drunk I'm slurred.
Don't call Jeff Sessions.
Don't you do it.
All right.
Just like your mother. What else is on our list, Mike?
One last thing, and we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, so maybe we can start.
We'll go as long as I fucking want to, Mike.
Oh God, he's got a gun. Okay,
lots of them.
What if there was a magic book that was also user guide for a flying car? I want to go back to that. Fanfic. You have one last. You said renaming games to be offensive using the elements of the game itself. I don't know if we're actually going to do this one. Oh, we could. Fuck it.
The only one I could think of was Doom, and that was just like, okay, the idea is Mike said it, but they explain a little further. It's like renaming games. I'm just saying basically what you just said. Yeah. Renaming games to be offensive, but using elements of the games that are actually there.
Yeah.
So like Doom, I could just think of renaming it Christians for Right. Because you're literally fighting through hell. The Christian version of hell.
Right.
So I imagine the first thing that guy thought, like, or no, you're not, because Doom guy. And
right. But if you were someone else.
Yeah, the first thing the scientist thought, like, well, I'm going to hell. Because he's a scientist. You know he's an atheist.
Right, yeah. You know what's funny? I went to school with a kid whose his father was a pastor, and
is he in hell now, Mike?
Yes, no.
Okay.
His parents wouldn't let him play Doom because there were demons in it. No shit. And I kind of wanted to be like, guys, you know he's fighting the demons. He's not like shaking their hands and making Christmas wreaths with them. Like, like you're killing the demons. That's you're fighting hell. It's the most Christian game there is, really.
Yeah, it really is. Like you're the physical embodiment of. That's what Jesus would do.
Yeah, yeah. He would suit up, lock and load, and go right to hell and take it to their faces.
He would fuck those demons up.
Well, screaming all sorts of slurs.
Yeah, yeah. And that's literally the only title I can think of that little thing would work for.
Yeah,
off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to think of any other games that would work for it. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of any. So it's a really bad idea, and I apologize for that, everyone.
Yeah, we were really excitable on this one. I think last week, since I had come off of work, and then we did it, I was a little more level-headed. But today, it's Saturday. Got a couple drinks in me.
Oh, yeah. Got a little more. Yeah. It does make a difference. So,
hey, we kind of stayed on track. We got through these. I crossed them out as we actually finished talking about them.
Yeah.
The things on my list.
We didn't go... Yeah, we stayed on... We did okay. I'm not going to say we did great. I'm going to give us a C+.
All right. I I just thought of a good segment. We can do observation theater where we talk about things in the room. Just to leave everyone who's listening completely out of the loop.
That's actually a good idea.
Like, hey, look at that. Oh, that thing's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it look like? Well, it kind of looks like that thing.
Yeah.
People are just like, what are they fucking looking at? Like anyone actually cares.
Yeah, I know.
I stopped listening long ago.
Yeah. This podcast is about an hour and 32 minutes too long.
Yeah, I stopped listening to the intro music. Who the fuck did that?
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
It's like someone pushing a dumpster down a flight of stairs.
So, you got anything else?
No, I'm going to be starting Battlefield Hardline soon. I know I'm late on that. A lot of games I end up playing like a year or so after they've come out. I'd be like the worst reviewer of all time.
Well, when you play Battlefield Hardline, make sure you play it like an actual cop and kill every minority you see. So.
I know that I think there's an award like if you just tase.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's an award if you kill all minorities.
No.
Like,
I think there's an award.
LAPD.
Yeah.
Merit of Achievement.
LAPD Simulator 2018.
Yeah.
Hands up, shoots lots.
The Rodney King Award.
Right. Oh my god. Man, I had to edit this part out too. Man, that took like a real white turn there.
Yeah. We're not white. White people might meet us. We're white.
We're white.
Yeah.
God.
The cat's black.
Yeah. Oh man. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
No, but I think I've heard there is an award where if you don't kill anybody in the whole game, you probably have to kill some people, but like the ones that you don't have to, you just tase and arrest, because you can go through the whole game and pretty much tase and arrest most people. But I'm just gonna be the only reason I'm gonna tase people is so they fall down, so they're easier to put one in their head.
Yeah.
I play games like a fucking sociopath.
Oh, I mean, it's more fun. Like, I mean, I get the idea as you're playing a cop game to not kill people, but it's a Battlefield game.
Right.
It's not a SWAT game.
Yeah.
So, like, they give you all this.
It's not Battlefield interrogation.
I do believe in that
or
game.
talking down a jumper.
Yeah.
You have so much to live for.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, start firing at him.
I do believe in that game they only give you a taser, but they give you like millions of firearms. Like they give you one non-lethal weapon.
No mace.
And they just like shove guns across the table. Like, don't use these. They're awesome.
Right.
Don't use them.
Wait do you see what this one does?
They're really cool.
I mean, you never will because you're never going to shoot it, but...
They're...
Oh my god. Ooh, you should see what it did at the range. Ooh.
Oh my god. This one
Still
time...
got some in my hair.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Oh, you remember when you came over to my dad's and you shot the 12 gauge?
Yeah.
At that
the first
block?
time I went... Like the look in my eyes.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Second Amendment's the best amendment.
Yeah. Only amendment. Second Amendment. Next week I'm going to start... Hopefully I don't know if I'll have it finished, but Horizon Zero Dawn by next time we record on...
Boy, I hope you don't have it finished. That'd be a pretty short game.
I heard it's about 30 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to work and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, nah.
I
quit.
Take some days off. No, I'll play it. So I'll be a ways into that. I will have a Switch at some point.
Yep.
But that's probably not. You'll probably end up playing. You and Andy, at least, will probably end up playing Breath of the Wild before I do. So.
Maybe. I'll have to talk to him about
yeah.
he's getting it.
I think it comes out next Thursday.
I
think it's the 3rd. I don't know if that's Thursday.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to do Battlefield. I might do Horizon Zero Dawn. I might wait on it a little bit. I got to start pricing out my computer. I really have to finish The Evil Within. I've started that game. I've started that game 3 times.
You haven't beat it?
No, I get really far, and then I get to a point where I'm like, God, this is hard, and then I just give up.
I got to you let me borrow that.
Yeah.
And that first encounter, I'm like, nope, I hate this. I hate this. It's not even that it was scary or hard. It's just I hate that where you can't fight back.
I'm trying to remember that first encounter.
It's like you're in the sewers or something.
Okay.
And your leg's broke and you're limping.
Oh, yeah, and the guy with the chainsaw is chasing you.
I'm like, I hate this. Nope. I mean,
you know that after that you get, like, all the guns in the world. Right?
Yeah, I know. I just, like, fuck this. I just didn't feel it at the time. I might be different feeling now if I tried it, but at the time I was like, nope. Because I love horror games.
Yeah.
It's just, at the time I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
So.
Understood.
Yep.
But I would like to beat that game. Because I like it. You know, it didn't get great reviews, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty solid survival horror game.
Yeah.
It's very difficult and it can be very frustrating, but beyond that, it's still pretty fun.
Yeah. There is that Steam Early Access game I told you I was going to might give a shot. That Black Wake, the pirate.
Yes.
FPS
co-op
multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not really co-op. It's like
you kind of have to work together.
Yeah. It's a team-based multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yarr.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's the only line I can keep it going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, other than that, Logan comes out next week.
That's right. Yeah, boy, we did pretty much all video games this time. We almost did.
I feel that's kind of what's going to happen most time.
Yeah. Well, you know, as certain things come out, I'm sure, like, you know,
Logan.
If we both go see Logan, we might have some things to say. We could actually start reviewing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the big thing about reviewing stuff that's so hard, I realized, is that you have to have a lot of fucking money. Yeah, because you got to go see movies the day they come out, and you have to buy games as soon as they come out.
I don't have a problem with buying stuff. Like, I don't want to say like I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I have enough disposable income. I don't mind buying like a couple games a month.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
I buy about one game a month.
It's more about time.
Yeah.
It's like to review shit, you gotta have a lot of time.
Dude, even just doing the simple thing that I did with the podcast last week. We put it on YouTube, by the way, so you can look it up. And that's what I'm talking about. I just changed the photo based on what we were talking about. That took me 5 hours.
Oh yeah, when you sent me that photo and I couldn't get to work, I sat there fucking around with it. Because I was like, oh yeah, and then I forgot iTunes needs to be 1400 at least, 1400 by 1400 at least. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to resize this. I'm an idiot. It took me like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because I'm dumb.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Before we go, the email will be. Oh shit! I don't want to give it because it might be taken. I will put it in the description of this episode. If you have any suggestions for, say it again, Mike, because I will fuck it up.
The worst game you could make based off of a shitty movie. Or maybe even a good movie, but just a shitty game.
Yeah.
Or suggestions for stuff for us to talk about. Otherwise, we're just going to ramble on like we normally do.
Fanfic. Your best game ideas that you don't mind sharing with us.
Yep. Patent pending.
Patent pending. We won't steal them. We don't know how to make games.
Right. I'm going to have to learn how to read, too, before we do this.
That's true. Any good beers you think we should try?
Yeah.
So
I actually do like craft beer. I'm sure there's plenty of people that like craft beer, and I said I'm drinking Henry's Hard Grape, and they're like, good lord, man, have some self-respect. Here's the thing, you need to lighten the fuck up, because Henry's Hard Grape is delicious.
I like to drink things that taste good and make me drunk.
Yes.
And the list of things that I think taste good and make me drunk is very short. So that's where I'm at.
I actually don't complain. Man, at this point, I'd be happy if someone complained. Someone was listening.
Yeah, someone was listening. Thumbs down.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
but no, I also do like stouts, porters, etc., etc. But I also have a major sweet tooth. So
that's
Henry's Hard Orange, Henry's Hard Grape, and that Not Your Father's Root Beer. Good lord,
that's my problem is with the sweet tooth.
Like I don't. Fuck my pancreas. I'm drinking.
But my favorite's still just a good Hefeweizen.
Yeah,
trumps them all.
Erdinger Hefeweizen is probably one of my favorite heffies.
I don't know what that is.
Well, try it someday. It'll change your goddamn life.
You go to the what is that? Hofbrauhaus House?
I've not been there yet.
Well, is that what it's called? Hofbrauhaus?
Hofbrauhaus,
yeah, they got a good Hefeweizen.
Okay.
So, all right, everybody. That was this week's ExplodeyBarrels podcast.
Goosh.
This has been Lincoln.
And this is Mike. Peace out. Don't die.
And
vote libertarian.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
Vote however you want. We don't care.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't care.
See you next week.